Traffic on the M40 was very heavy and slow moving. Hugo Martin, a heavy-set man with a florid face, was finding it hard to keep his busy schedule. He was driving an articulated lorry, which was due to offload at London Gateway in central London half an hour ago. Hugo was acutely aware if he did not make his time up, his cargo could be too late to get loaded onto the container ship Mirabelle. He heaved a sigh of relief as the traffic started to speed up again and jammed his foot on the accelerator, trying to get the lumbering beast of a vehicle up to its permitted maximum speed. Most of the cars were now making good speed, and he was hopeful of keeping his lateness to less than 2 hours, the maximum permitted. Hugo fretted at the delay. If he didn't drop off this load and get to his next place of pickup within the next 2 hours, he would probably lose a return load and get a lateness penalty as well. As a sole operator, Hugo was working on small margins and needed a return load to show a decent return for his day's toil. His mobile phone started chirping, and he eyed the device sitting on the passenger seat. Damn. He knew the call would be from the agent at the docks, wondering where his load was. Hugo picked the phone up and put it to his ear, knowing full well it was illegal to use a handheld mobile when driving in the UK. With a sigh, he clicked the receive button. Hello? Suddenly, Hugo Martin couldn't draw a breath, the phone falling from his hand to the floor of the cab, his chest feeling like it was being crushed in a huge vice, the excruciating pain killing him. He knew immediately it could only be a heart attack. Hugo fought hard to keep his senses as he looked for a gap in the traffic to allow him to pull the lorry over to the relative safety of the hard shoulder. There was no escape for Hugo as a cloud started to fog his mind. His only chance of survival lay in getting the vehicle to the hard shoulder. He turned the wheel to the left, crowding the nose-to-trail traffic in the inside lane, forcing them to make way. It was too late, as Hugo slumped over his steering wheel, causing the lorry to jackknife, then overturn, slamming into the BMW Mini, which had been speeding in the outside lane. There was a sound of frantic braking and wheels locking, with horns blaring, as the traffic following the stricken vehicles tried to take avoiding action. They were all too late, as the following vehicles slammed into the lorry and the BMW, with both vehicles bursting into flames. The cab of the lorry then swerved into a Saab 95, which was travelling in the inside lane, pushing the car up the embankment where it came to an instant halt as it slammed into a tree. The back end of the articulated lorry slewed round, hitting other vehicles, which in turn slammed into others. The lorry turned over onto its side, still sliding down the road under its own momentum, with the ruptured diesel tank spilling its contents onto the carriageway. Sparks from blazing vehicles ignited the diesel, and there was a loud explosion as a fireball rose into the air when the fuel tanks exploded. There was absolute mayhem as vehicles crashed into each other all over the eastbound lanes of the M40. police reports later would show that the incident left 43 people dead and 78 hospitalised.